Hello guys, hello comic book fans, hello film fans, welcome to the Popcorn Podcast. My name is Dylan, and today I'm going to be talking about and breaking down some of my favourite moments from Zack Snyder's Justice League. The film has been out for almost 2 weeks now, so if you haven't managed to see it yet, definitely check it out and then come back because of course, I'm going to be talking full spoilers. Also, just to let you know, this is definitely going to be more of a video essay as opposed to a straight up compilation of all the coolest moments from the film, so if you are into that kind of content, be sure to stick around and consider subscribing to the channel. I've also limited myself to only 5 moments from this film because in all honesty, I could do this all day.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's enough of the intro. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So without further ado, welcome to my favorite moments from Zack Snyder's Justice League.
What makes you so sure?
Faith, Alfred. Faith.
Okay, so the film opens with the death of Superman, which brilliantly establishes a connection to the DCEU's previous entry, much similar to how the destruction of Metropolis was shown at the very beginning of Batman vs Superman. I love that Zack Snyder does this. It gives so much more weight and perspective to this ongoing story, and as a viewer you really acknowledge and feel how the events of the previous film bleed right into the next. Snyder takes the death of Superman as an opportunity to immediately kickstart the film's plot through the awakening of the Mother Boxes, as well as begin the process of world building. That haunting super scream echoes right across the earth, through Metropolis and Gotham right down to the depths of the ocean, introducing Atlantis, and finally back up onto land, allowing us to revisit Themyscira. We're only 6 minutes into the 4-hour runtime and already we have a good sense of the film's tone. This is a world without Superman, a world now in mourning, a dark world, a detached world, a world where evil is rising. So with this next heading, I'm basically going to take the opportunity to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. As you're aware, Steppenwolf's hunt for the Mother Boxes isn't exactly one moment in the film, but more so a series of moments all spread out across about 3/4 of the film's runtime. There's the battle on Themyscira, the brawl in Atlantis, and the fight underneath Gotham Harbor, all of which are sequences done in truly epic proportions. We get a deeper dive into new terrains, we get to see characters showcase their powers in interesting ways, or if you'll mirror both of those things. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Look at this. Whilst I love all of these moments, hands down my favourite of the 3 has to go to the battle on Themyscira because I was simply blown away. Sure, the sequence was included in the Whedon cut, but not like this.
Prepare for battle!
See, I'm a big fan of the Amazons of Themyscira. I loved how Patty Jenkins brought them to life in the first Wonder Woman film, and even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Wonder Woman 1984, my favourite part of that film was definitely that opening game sequence. Saying all that, what I think Zack Snyder does here in his cut of Justice League is simply outstanding, and basically gives the Amazons of Themyscira the best sequence they've received in live action thus far. The battle on Themyscira not only marks Steppenwolf's great entrance, horns sharp and armor glistening, no, it also marks 2 of my favourite moments of dialogue in the entire film. The first of which is,
Evil does not sleep. It waits.
and the second, my personal favourite,
Daughters of Themyscira! Show him your fear! We have no fear!
I mean, it really does not get more badass than that. And also, I can't have been the only one who got instant flashbacks to watching 300, which I remind you guys was also directed by Zack Snyder.
Persian! Come and get them!
Anyways, chaos erupts and we have parademons killing Amazons, Amazons killing parademons. There's swordplay, there's gunplay, bow and arrow action, whatever this fucking axe thing is. It was also great to see Connie Nelson as Queen Hippolyta finally get to kick some ass. This Themyscira sequence is everything I wanted and more. From a storytelling perspective, it demonstrates to us the ferocity of Steppenwolf, but also the infinite loyalty and sisterhood of the Amazons. The action is bold and bloody and constantly changing terrain from land to sea to air. The action speeds up, the action slows down. It's truly a remarkable set piece and this film is all the better for it. Now, for a film as ambitious and as deeply rooted in comic book material as Zack Snyder's Justice League, there's of course going to be some sort of backstory that we all need to know. I'm of course referring to the Age of Heroes, the moment where we finally get to witness Darkseid in live action for the very first time, and he looks incredible. The sheer presence this character commands when he is on screen is just nuts. He isn't in the film for that long, but every time he is, I get chills. Now, of course, we all know how this scene eventually plays out. The alliance between Atlanteans, Amazons, the tribes of men, a Green Lantern, and the old gods were able to push back the invading forces of Apocalypse. This whole moment was incredibly satisfying to watch. It reminded me so much of the prologue for The Lord of the Rings, you know, from the joining of alliances of different people right down to both Darkseid and Sauron smashing, slashing, and sending soldiers flying in all directions. Okay, so let me address the elephant in the room. Darkseid gets his ass handed to him. There's no doubt about that. Now, naturally, some fans might have been a little underwhelmed by how this played out and were possibly expecting more from him as a physical threat. Now, of course, I wasn't behind the script for this film, so I have no way of knowing for 100%, but I am a fan of these characters, so here's my take on this rather controversial moment in the film. The Darkseid you're watching here is obviously a very different Darkseid to the one you're watching here. This is a Darkseid at a very early age. It seems to me that at this point he hasn't fully developed or maybe even acquired the Omega ability like here. Otherwise, why the hell wasn't he using it? Anyways, what some people seem to have forgotten is that he wasn't defeated by your regular Atlantean or Amazon. No, he was defeated by the old gods. Beings who at this stage are probably equal in power to him, and it took 3 of them to do that. Do not underestimate Artemis, Zeus, and of course Ares, who did the most damage. After all, what is this moment if not a full-scale war? And who is Ares? Well, Ares is the god of war, so obviously, if anything, he's gonna thrive the most in these moments. Having seen the film twice now and really reflecting on this moment, I'm glad it happened like this, and at the end of the day, it makes sense because, I mean, come on, it must have taken something incredibly serious, like an almost fatal blow to the neck, to actually drive back Darkseid from the Earth. The fact that he got his ass handed to him is actually a good thing in my opinion, because it's allowed his villainy and presence as an antagonist to become so much more complex. It's made the quarrel he has with Earth so much more personal, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Warner Brothers restore the Snyderverse and we get to see a continuation of Darkseid's conquest. Okay, I'm gonna keep this entry on the list fairly brief. This moment was fantastic. To be honest, from the trailers we knew the black suit was coming, and even though this was a relatively short moment in the film, I don't think it really took away from the overall impact. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you might know my thoughts on Man of Steel and how much that film has grown on me over the years. So naturally, as a big fan of that film, this moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League was very special for me. Now, to hear Clark's 2 most influential figures, Jor-El and Jonathan Kent, in this sort of dual narrative-like exchange,
Love them, Cal. The way we loved you. Fly, son. It's time.
I mean, I swear to God, if this scene was about 10 seconds longer, I probably would have cried. What a beautiful callback to Superman's first flight in Man of Steel. Hans Zimmer's wonderful score in the background, and of course, this shot. Wow. Fucking goosebumps, people. You know, love him or not, you cannot deny that Zack Snyder has a brilliant eye for crafting such profound moments like this. Also, thank you for the thumbnail, Zack. So here we are, the final battle, last chance to stop Steppenwolf. In this massive climactic sequence, it was difficult to pick just one moment to round off this list. I mean, there are so many options, from Batman just ripping through parademons with the Batmobile, to this shot of the League here, to Superman's arrival and straight up bullying of Steppenwolf, to the incredibly satisfying moments where the League tag teams each other, to Darkseid's "we'll use the old ways" line. So much to choose from, and whilst the decision seems almost impossible, it's a no-brainer. My favourite moment in Zack Snyder's Justice League has to be the Flash turning back time. Whilst Cyborg was for sure still the more developed of the two, I'd say, the Flash had the coolest moment in the film for me. I mean, it's a crime that this scene was cut out in the 2017 version. Here, every single member of the Justice League was integral in this final battle, but none more so than Barry Allen. These characters are practically gods, and Snyder shows that even some of the most powerful beings fail, and I love that. I love how this mission wasn't just clean sailing and the Justice League actually failed to save the world. This is why something like Infinity War works so well, demonstrating that the heroes we entrust so much faith in sometimes lose. But is there a way out? Well, that, my friends, is of course when Barry Allen comes into play. The Unity forms and the League gets obliterated, the explosion sending shockwaves out with destructive intent. As soon as Barry put his hand out like this, like he's a motherfucking Jedi, I lost my shit, and I'm sure all the Flash fans out there were doing the same. Whilst Jedis are one with the Force, the Flash in this moment is one with the Speed Force. The Justice League ran out of time, so the Flash outran time. Man, I feel like I'm rapping. And then you hear it, guys. Tom Holkenborg's At the Speed of Force, which is by far the best piece of original composition for this film. Notice how the Flash is vibrating so fast that he phases through an explosion that essentially destroys the whole planet. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Running, accelerating, flying faster than the speed of light, commanding the Speed Force to turn back the clock and bring everyone back. I love this moment for so many reasons, but also for the fact that Snyder doesn't opt for an easy, travel through a time portal and come out the other side in the past. No. This is almost like a Christopher Nolan Tenet inversion visual approach, where Barry is literally turning back time, recreating matter with every step he takes. But it's not just music and visuals, guys. There is real emotion behind this moment too. Barry being motivated by his dad who he knows that in this moment he will never see again if he fails.
Your kid was one of them, Dad. One of the best of the best. The best of the best.
That's how he does it. That's how he's able to run faster than he's ever run before. Not just making his own future, but by making his own past. Love this film or hate it, if this moment isn't one of your standouts, I don't know what to say. I thought it stole the show. So that is it, guys. That basically rounds off my list from my favorite moments from the Snyder Cut. My objective with these choices was to try and get a good balance of moments which had a big impact on me, as well as some moments that hadn't originally been included in the Whedon Cut. Overall, I had a pretty difficult time deciding on this list because, like I said, there were so many options to choose from. So if I didn't include your favorite moment from the film, like for example Superman's resurrection or the nightmare sequence, it is not because I didn't love it too. But anyways, I'd love to know your thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League. What were some of your favorite moments from the film? Comment them down below, and if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. It'll help me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you all have an awesome week, and I'll catch you again very soon in the next video.